Peru news today. All you need to know about Peru.
Official. Chile announced Ricardo Gareca as coach of La Roja. Ricardo Gareca will lead the Chilean national team in the South American Qualifiers. His debut will be on the FIFA date in March. Through its social networks, the Chilean national team confirmed the arrival of Argentine Ricardo Gareca as its new coach for the South American Qualifiers. Thus the Tigre will be the successor of his compatriot Eduardo Berizzo. Passion and experience. Ricardo Gareca will lead the way for La Roja in its next challenges, was the comment from La Roja on his X account, formerly Twitter, accompanied by a series of photos of Gareca. Upon his arrival in Santiago de Chile, Gareca gave statements to the press. Very happy, thank you very much. Of course, about expectations. We'll talk, in due course we'll talk. Thanks for being there, he said. It was learned that Gareca will be presented this Thursday by the board of the National Professional Football Association, ANFP, which opted for his work in an election in which names such as Jose Pekerman, Gustavo Quinteros and Jose Luis Cotto were also mentioned. Mountain Range. In this way, the 64-year-old coach will lead for the second time in the qualifiers after his successful time in the Peruvian national team in the period from 2015 to 2022. Chile did not have a good start in the qualifiers after playing the first 6 rounds. Their balance is 3 defeats, 2 draws and 1 win, thus adding 5 points and placing them in 8th place in the standings heading to the 2026 World Cup. Gareca's debut with the Chilean diver will take place on the FIFA date in March. The duel with France is confirmed and the other opponent would be Algeria. Gareca made history with the Peruvian national team in his time from 2015 to 2022. With him on the bench, the bicolor team qualified for a World Cup after 36 years, finished in second place in the 2019 Copa America and also entered the playoffs heading to Qatar 2022. Ricardo Gareca was consulted regarding his debut with Chile in the Copa America 2024, in which he will face the Peruvian national team, where he was for 7 years. It is the ideal debut, highlighted the Tigre, as well as the fact that in the restart of the qualifiers he will clash against Argentina. Regarding what the fact that he is the new Chile coach generated in Peru, Gareca mentioned that he has appreciation for the bicolor fans. I thank the people of Peru, I only have words of gratitude for the treatment I have had. Review here all of Ricardo Gareca's statements in his official presentation as the new coach of the Chilean national team. The importance of the Chilean league for Gareca. The national team always feeds on local football. I know superficially what everyone knows. Another thing is when it is already installed. In general, local football plays a predominant role. The only thing I want is for Chile to be united again. For it to be understood that the goal is the maximum. What I want is what you also want. They hired us to solve the problem and for Chile to be able to achieve the objectives and immediately, as quickly as possible. Ricardo Gareca and the golden generation of Chile. I see great possibilities as long as they are focused and directed to continue participating in the national team. The selection is something that mobilizes everyone. Being taken into account is something that fills with pride, that dignifies, that every player wants. To the extent that the player has the desire and accumulates merits to continue being there, he will depend on them. If there is one message I can give, it is that everyone has an open door, everyone has possibilities. There is no exception, as long as they show validity, interest, which is their desire to be there. Manuel Pellegrini is one of those technicians that you have in your sights for what he offers on the field. Among the things he told me, is that the Chilean does not believe he is less than anyone. That is something that, without a doubt, coming from him, it is something that mobilizes, something that I take into account. It is something that speaks of a characteristic of a person or player, which means that one can count on him. It is something that interests me. We believe that we are complicated too for others. It's a matter of preparing and being as focused as possible. We have goals. I spoke with the president, with all the people. I am interested in what everyone is interested in, being in the World Cup. But that is built. We hope to be aligned from now on. That is why it is important to be united, players, leaders, public, journalism. Beyond the fact that we have to accept an analysis, that there is criticism, that it is permanent and that this is how it should happen. We have to know how to live with all that, but we know that we all want the same objective, which is World Cup. We have to start building it, and we have the conditions to be able to do it. Leave us your comment and subscribe to continue growing, and follow us on our social networks: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Peru News Today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.